Treasure Valley's exclusive home for Kevin Miller. KIDOAM.com. 580 KIDO, Idaho's place to talk.
And here we are, living the dream. Kevin Miller in the morning. We're joined by the president of the AFL-CIO, Rian Van Leuven, for the state of Idaho with us. Mr. Van Leuven, Mr. President, thank you for joining us.
Well, good morning, Kevin. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
You know, we talk about the state of the working folks, and it's really sometimes should be a nonpartisan issue. Economic opportunity here in the state. Obviously, we can do better. We're 46th or 48th when it comes to real wages. What's going on?
Well, you know, we've got to improve where we stand in the state of Idaho as far as wages and the livable wages for working families and the kitchen table economics, as we like to call it. One of our biggest concerns is we want the people of the state of Idaho to be able to buy their food at the grocery stores and the local stores and have that spendable income rather than having to pick their food up at a food bank. And that's a very big concern for us in the Idaho labor movement. Not
only, I would say, in Idaho, but across the country, we see the erosion of good manufacturing jobs. How do we bring those back?
You know, I think there's an active attempt right now in the Congress in the United States Senate to talk about outsourcing. We need to bring those jobs back home, making people job ready so that we can entertain and give employers a reason to come to the state of Idaho. Right now, our biggest export in the state of Idaho is our children.
Wow. Well, at least they're not going to China, but a lot of our goods are going to China, sir.
Exactly.
As someone who has made their way and who is a champion of the people, we take a look at the future and these millennials. You know, what's in it for them? The idea that they're working two part-time jobs, still not making what a real live person in 75 or 85 made as far as a living wage.
We can do it a lot of many ways. We have an apprenticeship program in the Idaho trade labor movement that with electricians, plumbers, and fitters. It's an alternative for people that aren't going on to colleges, right? That may want a livable family living wage job that has benefits and other things.
Well, and you could make a lot of money being in the trades.
Well, you can. You got to travel a little bit every now and then. You got to go where the work is.
Well, let me hit you with this, though. As you know, this is a very conservative station, a very conservative audience that, you know, is very happy with the right to work status. What do you say to those people listening right now that are saying that the unions are not a good thing, that you're critics, sir? How do you address them?
You know, I can tell them that the members that I am very humbled and honored to represent are very hardworking people. We need to be able to be job ready, job professional, do it right the first time, so those folks that we work for and those employers are successful. Without them, we don't survive, and we don't exist. In 1979, I went to work in a paper mill in Lewiston. I had the opportunity to work in that agricultural timber industry. I was a paper maker by trade. We work long and hard. That's a very scientific process.
Are those jobs still here today, though?
Yeah, they're still in Lewiston. They're still
That's probably the exception. Well, let me jump in. Rian Van Leuven, president of the AFL-CIO here in the state of Idaho at 580 KIDO. Sir, you know, I can sense your authenticity when we're talking, and having grown up around people that worked in rubber factories and steel mills and coal miners, there's a certain nobility to that. How do we get that back when we have people buying stuff from China and India and Vietnam and saying, I can't afford a union workforce and I can't afford an American anymore? I mean, to me, that's the ultimate betrayal. You're on the front lines on that. How do you tell the politicians enough?
Well, you do it just by holding them accountable and talking to them.
What about Obamacare and its impact on the unions?
Oh, man.
And are you happy with the president?
You know, Kevin, I don't want to. I want to take a little more time to look at that whole thing. That's a 2,100-page book.
You're probably going to read it as opposed to everybody else.
Well, I'm going to take a shot at it, but I'm telling you, I don't know that I'm going to get through it. You know, we have in the organized labor structure the opportunity to have great employers that we have been able to negotiate great benefits with, and so most of our members are not going to have to look at the exchange or other things because of health care.
Quickly to Terry in the occupied territory of State College, Pennsylvania, at 580 KIDO with Kevin Miller. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Great.
Ryan, I have a question, if I could, please.
Sure.
I'm from back east, land of all the steel plants, Pennsylvania, Ohio area.
Yes.
But very familiar with all the union work back there. You used the term here this morning, organized labor. Where do you stand directly on creating a path of citizenship for illegal aliens, regardless of race?
Well, I think a meaningful pathway to citizenship for undocumented workers is imperative. And
I didn't say documented workers. I said illegal aliens, those that are...
Those would be what I call undocumented workers, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing, illegals, undocumented workers. I think a meaningful path of citizenship for, as you want to call them, illegal, or I would call them undocumented workers, those that don't have the documentation. But those folks in that meaningful pathway to citizenship, we need to do that because as a country, we lose a ton of revenue. I think it's been estimated over 11 million undocumented workers, right? And if those undocumented workers are paid under the table or they're paid a sub-minimum wage, you and I and or other taxpayers are subsidizing the effect of those employees and working for their employers. And so we do that by meaningful pathway to citizenship and reform in the immigration reform area, and we also do it by working to raise wages for all Americans so that we all have a little spendable income. So, you know, it's a contentious issue, and it's one that needs to be resolved.
Well, then, I'm hearing the word meaningful path here. What do you call meaningful path? You mean like as quickly as possible?
Okay, and Terry, we got to run here. So Ryan, if you could give us like a 20-second answer. Thank you, Terry.
Well, you know, meaningful would be that has dignity, respect, and honors the hard work that those folks do. I guess that's as simple as I could put it.
Ryan Van Leuven, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Love to have you back.
Hey, love to be back. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Quickly to traffic at 580 KIDO. Hello, Dave.
Good morning, Kevin. Finishing cleanup of an accident.
We were just getting warmed up there.
Oh, it was interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Thank you.
The big Phil here.
All right.